surprising everybody in the family. And nobody knows when AB is going live now. Just pop up out of nowhere. Different times too, always. There's some of the family members. We're gonna have a really nice school talk tonight, guys. Quick one, as we always say. Eddie, what's up, brother? Derek, hey, well, good evening, brother. Sheen Dials, what's up, bro? How are you? I'm gonna prepare you as always, guys. Tonight's talk is gonna be a little thinking as always, like we always think about what's happening, but we always need to always also think about outside the box and what's yet to come. We got to put ourselves in the opposite, like our opposition, our enemies. We got to put ourselves in their shoes to see what they possibly could be preparing for us next. And that's why whenever, if you guys remember, who was the first person last week who came up in the live and I said, can I say it? And I told everybody that what's happening with the Bitcoin and what's happening with the crypto is something that's really special. And is about to, once we broke that 24K, special things are going to happen. Now you're getting many people jumping on the wagon as if lately, like yesterday, today, and all that. But they're like a week late. Doesn't matter. As long as all the community gets informed, that's all that matters. Let me see. What's up, babe? How are you, Jamie? Can't wait to see you soon. Jerry Martinez. What's up, brother? Chillin'. I like it, Eddie. Bullish like FK. Are we in the moon yet? Soon, my friend. Soon. Andrew. Isn't that, what's his name? Casey Shaw's, as far as what I'm heard from Pantheon and people, that's Casey Shaw's slogan 2 weeks from now. Thank you. Adrian, what's up, brother? How are you? You guys should be at the karaoke right now, which hopefully I can have a moment to, after I finish with my errands, maybe I could catch up with you guys. Vado! How are you, brother? Mr. McCohen, how are you, sir? Always thank you for your service. I did already. Eddie. I already did vote, yes. And as I said before, proudly, I voted my vote. I proudly say I voted no on all three. But again, I've explained in so many lives before why this thing is a done deal regardless. It's going to go through. It's going to go through. They need this. The system needs this more than AMC and many other people. Oh no, Adrian, don't postpone nothing, man. No. You can always catch up with this live and just catch, fast forward through it and watch. Don't fast forward the, don't postpone the, Shirley, what's up? What's up, my friend? Yeah, guys, don't postpone that, karaoke stuff. Please do it. Who knows what this will, how long would this go through? But again, I'm going to cover a few really important things that are not, again, we always have to be a step ahead. We can't just keep staying in the same, in the same spot. And that's what the community, for the last month and a half has been caught up in the same area. At least from my end, I've been preparing our family completely differently. Everybody knows that whether you vote Ness or no, whatever, It's all about how we're going to react to it after, or what goes through. If the no goes through, we know how to react. If the yes goes through, we also know what to expect. But at the end of the day, everybody knows in this community here that no matter what, yes or no, we're going to be like AB. I'm not going to speak for everybody else because, I don't financially advise anybody. AB clearly made it very, very, very simple and easy. I'm staying no matter what the outcome is, because at the end of the day, all this stupidity of yes, no, and if I don't get my vote, I don't want it. That's not the American way. So I'm not used to that. I could vote for this person just like presidency, like I said before. I could vote for this person, and doesn't mean if my candidate is not voted, doesn't win the race, doesn't mean I become what? An anarchist now all of a sudden and just get crazy and no, I don't like the results. No, that doesn't work. That's not how it works. So we're going to have to roll. This is the company we invested in. And by the way, there is many people out there that will try to antagonize either side. So there's some people that would say like, hey, from the yes crowd, that would say, hey, if you invested in this company and you don't trust the CEO or whatever, then sell and get out. You don't want that. We don't want to go to that route. Because the yes people do not want to antagonize the no people and turn it into that. Because you need the no crowd as much as you need, the no crowd needs the yes crowd. That's what makes us very dangerous to the opposition. People who antagonize other people within the same family, you'll never see the same people within their same family trying to hurt themselves and see any of the sides win. Everybody loses. So we have to, as I've said this million times over and over again, we have to, whether we have to agree to disagree, we have to come to a decision to where, at worst case scenario, agree to disagree, because we need each other. If the no crowd says, oh, I'm getting out, because if it's yes, guess what? The yes crowd will hurt. Yes, there will be a lot of bag holders, and vice versa. If the yes people are saying, oh, the no, and then they get the yes, and then the no people get out, same thing. Exactly same thing. Eventually, the other side reaps the rewards. We all lose at the same time. We lose all these years of hard hold and work for this. So hopefully that's it. Like, again, I've said I moved on from that topic, and I explained my reasons in so many lives and videos from before. I've said the pros of the no and the pros of the yes. I said the cons of the no, and I said the cons of the yes. It's done deal. Now it's time to move forward. People vote. Do your thing. I've definitely also said, make sure you vote. Make sure you do not go and vote. And let's move forward. Okay, that ship has sailed now. Let's see where it floats to, where it goes to. We're in the stock to make life-changing wealth. If some things along the line don't work according to the plan that you make, that doesn't mean you quit your overall plan. That means you got to adjust. But eventually the job has got to get done. You see what I'm saying, guys? So I'm here for any questions in general about the market, various things, and some talk about what possibly, if you guys think this yes and no, here's one thing I want to talk about tonight. And this is hopefully we can brush through it quick. If you think this is division, the no and yes, then you haven't seen nothing yet. The true division is going to come after the vote. This is just a teaser. I'll tell you how. The true division, specifically by the media, they're going to specifically push the buttons. Let's say the yes vote goes through, okay? And AMC goes down in price and dilution starts happening as expected. And then 2 weeks later, after the clause and the safe clause goes out that they have with Entera, that they can start finally diluting 2 weeks later. At that point, you can expect the price to go down further. Do you know what the media is going to do? They're already watching what happened over the past month and a half as far as how they grilled us. They marinated us with this whole split division. Yes and no, yes and no. And now they know what side, what's their pressure point, and what's the other side's pressure points. So after the split is the true test. You think this is something? You think this is division? Wait till after. Afterwards, I already know like how these guys think, guys. Like, and you should already see it that way. And I advise anybody to think in this sense, not financially, advice to think about your enemy's next move. That way you're always prepared for it. Therefore, the punch that you don't see coming is the one that lays you down, lays you out. The one that you see coming, you can most likely dodge it. Or at worst case scenario, if you don't dodge it, you expected it to come. So maybe it doesn't lay you out. So the true division will come after, because if the yes or the no goes through, the media, that's when they're going to capitalize. If the no goes through, AMC would be diluted a little bit more with Ape. Next thing you know, AMC's price also gets diluted. And then the yes crowd or side is going to start blaming the no crowd, saying, you got what you wanted. Look, we didn't squeeze after the reverse. And they're also can spin the same narrative and spin it to the opposition. If the yes vote goes through and we don't squeeze and AMC starts dropping in value because major corporations are dumping shares, and then 2 weeks later, AMC catches the share somewhere down in the bottom or in the middle, and then they start their dilution as well because they couldn't sell for the first 2 weeks, then the no crowd is also going to start the blaming, pinpointing fingers at the yes crowd, saying, see, we told you this is what was going to happen, and look at this. And then it's going to start getting into people. It's going to start getting into people's head. That's their plan, guys. Their division is not with the yes and the no. The division is afterwards. So if you think this was division, we're weak. We're not prepared for what's to come. I'm telling you, and I'm preparing you for how to be ready for the real test. The real test is going to come after the reverse stock split. If it goes through as a yes, that's when we have to hold strong, because they're going to sell and dilute and throw everything in the kitchen sink. I mean, come on, guys. I've explained so many times to you that so many companies have invested crazy into Ape because it is their chance of an arbitrage to get into AMC, because every Ape until that deadline possibly becomes a AMC common share, obviously after their 10-to-1 reverse stock split. So I've showed you even facts and receipts on some of the worst shorts, the shorts that short us. Some of the worst ones were investing in record numbers in AMC just to get that issued preferred shares Ape, so that later on they will sell all their AMC shares and then keep the Ape and pile up more on it, so that when they do get the conversion, they are in the system now. Those Apes became common shares. What are they going to do with it? They're going to dump them to short, or they could use them to cover. Give them to the entities that need them to cover. I told you guys many times that the yes and no, this is why AB doesn't get stuck. And hopefully our family here does not get stuck. If you listen to me, you would understand my point of thinking or direction of thinking is way past the idea of which one is it, yes or no. I prefer a no, but I'm not getting stuck here. If the yes goes through, I already know what these people will try to pull next. At the end of the day, this play is so much bigger, as I've said many times before, than many of us and many people and many things. This thing forms. How many people in this chat here, in the family, how many people heard me say many times, this forms a national security threat? And the system needs this madness in the stock market, specifically in AMC and bunch of other meme stocks, to come to an end, but at a reasonable blow. They can't. They need this yes. So therefore, I fully understand, as much as I don't like it, if the yes goes through. I'm not here to play the pinpointing the fingers, yes or no, my team versus your team. At the end of the day, it's the same stock. And at the end of the day, it's your money and it's my money that's invested. It's not, I'm not going to change the narrative of trading into a bashing game. I'm not a fan. I'm an investor. And neither are you. You're not a... Well, some people go about it as in like, oh yeah, I'm a fan. But are they truly investors? Because you put your money in it. So don't get caught up with this whole yes, no, and bashing and going back and forth. It's not going to go nowhere. Eventually, what's coming, it's coming. It's done deal. If it's yes, it's done. If it's no, it's done. The true test is going to come after the split, not before the split. This is just marination. This is just testing the waters for them. See how the community reacts to this ball that got dropped on them. Hey, we're going to reverse 10-1 and we're going to do a conversion. And let the people toss and turn inside the pot. Let them marinate on their own. And that's been happening. That's just the beginning. Wait till after. That's when they will really act on the, on getting everybody to split. That's really the test, is afterwards. And it's, I'm behind in the chat. I don't know. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate it. Andrew, you just want to squeeze before the vote. Well, from what I've called last week, we're looking for a decent size run up before the squeeze. And that could be the reason why if we move up again, when I saw Bitcoin break that major resistance level, again, these people are screwed up with whether it's Silvergate, if you guys are catching up with that recently, but mainly from FTX. That was their harness. That was their hornet's nest of all this madness, to be able to postpone this play as much as possible. Now that it's costing real money, not no hush-hush money, real money for anything, because anybody that wants to get their ass on the line, right now everybody's trying to protect their ass. Whoever is in the red is screwed already. So why would somebody lend a hand or reach down and perhaps drag themselves down into hell? You see what I'm saying, guys? So in the clutch, what's up, brother? Rachel, how are you? Dave Alvinez, how are you, brother? Alanis, sorry, apologies. Sunday vibes. So ultimately, the real test of all this back and forth, yes and no, is going to come after the split. Because if, again, as I told you, if the yes goes through, they're going to spin the same narrative that the no crowd was warning about. And I'm one of them. But I know that I'm not going to believe the devil. Because they're going to use the same points we were pointing out to the yes crowd. And they're going to let it happen. And then they're going to use it in the media to say, hey, look. And then all the no crowd is going to come out and become natural shills to dump on the yes. Again, we don't need this. We're one freaking community. And if the opposite happens, which I don't see happening, if the no goes through, the yes crowd are also going to blame the no people for why AMC's Ape and common shares, why AMC shares and Ape shares are dumping like wild. They're going to use that. Because AMC can't be dumped as much as where are they going to get the shares from? Who's going to give it to them now? No more FTX, but they can dilute it through Ape. They could hit the shit out of Ape, but even then it's still very hard because they don't have the options. Every day, shorts. And if you see with Ape, there is major pump that happens throughout the day once or twice. They have to maintain that price. The shorts keep freaking buying most of the shares that they are implicated on leverage for and selling them, dumping them back to try to control Ape's price. So either way, moving forward, I would love for the entire community, not just our community in here, for the entire community to please prepare for what's next, then to stay put and continue to play in the same pool like sitting ducks, waiting to see what happens to them. We're not that. We're much smarter. Hanzo, how are you, my friend? We're much smarter than that. And we got to be prepared for what's to come. The true division is going to come after the split, not now. This is just foreplay. The true real deal is coming after. And I'm ready for it. And I'm getting all the family here ready. And whoever sees this, hopefully ready for what's yet to come already. Now, before the split itself, we could definitely get a run up because, again, there's a lot of leverage. I've explained before. No more FTX tokenized bullshit. Most of it is gone, if not all. There is none. They need the shares. That's why they need this madness of quickness. As soon as FTX was a problem, instantly we got hit with this whole, hey, we need to do the reverse stock split. We need to do conversion. The system needs to work itself out. If you guys think that the entire globe financials, since we say there's trillions on the line, you guys know what trillions cause, right? Because they come from somewhere. They don't just come from out of thin air. I had some people who came to my comment sections and they kept saying, hey, AB, there's no way that I don't see that. I don't know why you're thinking like a conspiracist by thinking that somebody is forcing the board or Adam Aaron to do stuff and whatever. So they're not forcing. They're making the orders. And it's not conspiracy. You all, okay, if everybody thinks about the AMC number, brackets, even if you want to be conservative, if you talk about the price going to 400 a share, that's just a hypothetical example here. So you guys can understand the magnitude of what we're in. Many people say, no, nothing before 4 digits. I'm giving you, according to that example, I'm giving you a simple one. Even if we were to go to 400 and all our investors, the 4 million plus, were to sell at those ludicrous prices, and you're talking about there's billions upon billions of shares, that means one play, AMC by itself, could cost them north of 6, 8 to 10 trillion dollars. Do you guys know how much is 6 to 10 to 8 to 10 trillion dollars? It's easy to say it, but what does it really, where is it coming from? Who's paying it? $10 trillion is just about the same amount that BlackRock, the biggest asset manager on the globe, has in assets combined. So is it conspiracy? Does it sound like conspiracy that something, just one play, AMC by itself, we're not even talking about meme stocks, we're not even talking about other stuff, one play could possibly destroy the biggest asset manager or reach up to the same amount of money cost-wise that's going to cost them? Who has that? If BlackRock does not have it, who the fuck has it? The feds? You can say that. They can print, but they're going to print, and the media are going to hit on the news $10 trillion or $12 trillion, or who God knows how much more or a little bit less is paid. Think on it, guys. That's why I'm telling you, it's not a conspiracy theory, what I'm saying. It's logic. There's no receipts on that, because at the end of the day, they can't let there be receipts. But it's logic. You don't have to understand exactly. You don't have to hear the people in the room talking about you, but you can feel it. You can understand the room. If you walk into a room, you can understand what's happening without having to know exactly word by word what they said about you or about what's going on. You can read the room. And that's what I'm telling you guys. I've been reading the room. Something of this magnitude, there's no way they will leave it in the hands of just a theater CEO hands, or even the SEC commissioner, not even in his hands by himself. You're talking about global catastrophes. Where do these shorts get their money from? Do you guys think that they went and planted a seed in the ground and it just grew in a tree and they got money? Where do you think King Griffin got their money from? Silvergate, for example, this whole scandal, if you just walked in and you don't know much about that, what do you guys think that thing is doing? What is so important about it? It's transferring dollars and euros and money around the clock, everywhere, 24/7. What do you think? Who do you think is money laundering on this platform, on that crypto chain? Who do you think could be sending money to these market makers, these gangs? Anybody could be sending money. By the way, it's not a conspiracy. Look in England. One of their market makers got implicated for taking money from gang leaders so they can have the capital to go do what they got to do. And yes, Dave, they also steal from us. That's the number one source. Deliver assets and not purchase them. Over 65 billion. So it's not conspiracy, guys. It's just reading the room. It's logic that this thing poses major global catastrophe, collapse, not just internally in the US alone. Globally, everything is tied up to the US. If the US goes down, the entire planet goes down. That's how it is. That's why you got the freaking BRICS are trying to create their own thing so that they're no longer always tied to the American dollar. So just to get everybody up to speed on the or where AB comes from, this thing is worth every freaking penny, and it is that dangerous. And therefore, when you think with this logic, you'd understand why they will make the yes vote go through no matter what. No matter what, by all means, they'll make it go through. And by understanding that, it's easy. It's a much easier pill to swallow. And now I know how dangerous for me, they even revalidated why this play is worth everything that the media is saying is not. That right there. Even in the bylaws, in the vote, look at it. It says, hey, the third vote, if we don't get enough votes or whatever, we can keep resoliciting to get enough, eventually to get the right amount of votes to pass this thing. So therefore, this thing, that right there validates to me in fine print why this play is worth the crazy numbers. They right there are afraid of it. They're not going to come out and say they will never, ever leak out or perhaps somehow get the numbers, or somebody finds the numbers of how many naked shorts or synthetics are in the background. If that gets leaked, why would anybody sell it? That's hypothetically speaking. If somebody confirms, trust me source, trust me bro source, if somebody can confirm, or somebody from the inside leaks out the info of how much or how many naked shorts or synthetic shares are in the background, if there's, for example, 15 billion back there, or 10, even 10 and above, 5 is a nightmare. 10 and up, that validates. Guys, if you do the numbers on that, that will validate why, even if the yes goes through, that they don't still have exactly what they need. They might have been buying like crazy. Like again, as I told you before, Ape, the main reason of it is their Trojan horse to get inside. 100%. They piled up as much as possible because they know when this thing takes off, retail is going to be greedy and is not going to sell. It's not going to sell for no cheap prices, especially that we all have that thing in the back of our head that we're guaranteed to get 4 digits or 3 digits, high 3 digits or 4 digits, or some people 5 digits in. It's possible, especially if the only way for them to get access to covering their shares is through us. It becomes impossible for them to prevent the crazy high numbers. And that's what makes me very bullish about everything, regardless. At the end of the day, you got to remember, put yourself in their shoes and you'll understand why nothing is too small or too unreal or too far-fetched out to be true. Everything is possible. Everything. And these bylaws and the vote and all that, I can see how they're doing it. You watch, after the vote, even if we get a little run up, they know that there's many people who are afraid of the vote, of the yes. So therefore, they're gonna have that little run up on AMC. Well, one, anyways, they need shares regardless. And the dynamics of the market of why they're due on shares. I mean, again, there's no more FTX. There's no more tokenized crap. They need shares. Nobody's willing to lend their hand out and lend their shares because they're not going to get them. They will lose their ass in the process with them. They know whoever is caught up in this shit is done for. So why would anybody come and try to help them? In doing so, they will only be screwing themselves as well along with that. So everybody's trying to be 10 feet away, like with a 10 pole away from this madness. Each one who's not in it, they're not going to get close to it, no matter what. I'm going to look into the comments to see if there's questions and stuff like that, guys. Just give me a moment to get this stuff out so that we could have an actual topic back and forth or a conversation to talk about, or questions to answer. So it's very important to understand first the magnitude of something you're in, and then you can put some sort of expectations on it. If you don't know, and you don't know and you're just going along with what people say, then anything will make you, like at one moment you're going to be bullish, and at one moment you're going to be bearish. Like your conviction is going to be weak, and you're not going to price this thing correctly because you're not looking at the whole picture first to try to understand the magnitude of what you're in. And when you see truthfully the magnitude of what you're in from multiple different angles, you can't just get it from one direction or one way, from multiple angles, then you'll get a best educated guess on what this thing could be. And to me, the reason why I think that these things are not even in the hands of this board, as far as this vote and everything, is because the magnitude of the play. There's no way that this is not an Avengers movie, guys, or a Marvel's or DC movie. At the end of the day, this stuff could bring the entire economy down, the globe economy as well. So do you think what? They're going to just sit there and wait for a random company in Wall Street or in the stock market make decisions that could screw up the entire economy of the globe? Of course they interfered. Who freaking sent the order to take off the buy button back in January of 2021? It wasn't just Robinhood by themselves or whatever. It was an NSCC employee, aka government employee. Best believe, if you don't know this, please expand your horizons, and then you'll be able to see. Don't get stuck only in what content creators are making for you. Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about this and that. Look at the big picture. You're in this as an investor, not just as a follower. You are the breadwinner of your own family or your domain. When you lose, your people get hurt. When you win, your people benefit. And as a family, all of us, we need to make sure we put all of our interests in front of us, like to each other. If I want to succeed so badly, I would want to love the same for you. Not sit there and bash each other and all that. If an entire group sells, whether the yes or the no crowd, if I want to get stuck into that little talk, small talk, the stupid talk, then everybody loses. This is that big, and I did not stay in here for almost damn near 3 years, from freaking September of 2020, so I can get to now and say, oh, if this goes through, then I'm not in. If that doesn't go through, I'm out. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. We gotta get this thing across. Once we all have crazy, crazy life-changing wealth and money, not each one for themselves. Each one for themselves will screw up the entire community. Because there is no mutual interest no more. Greed wins. And that takes us to the wrong destination eventually. Once we all got what we need in money, watch the magic that will be birthed from this movement. You will see many private hedge funds that could be retail based from this movement because of the amount of money that they made. There could be many projects or many things that could happen from a position of strength. But it's our main strength has always been and will always be our freaking numbers and our resistance and the way to adapt to harsh conditions and still pass and push forward and push through. Because look at it. It's been over 2.5 years where they're throwing bad shit, bad media, bad everything, calling us out, tumbling us, bringing the stock down to the ground and bringing us back up and then bringing us back down to the ground. And yet we're here. Those are our freaking stripes on our shoulders. That right there, what I just mentioned, all these things that we went through and did. And that's what's making them and piss and shit in their own pants. Because they know we're for real. That's why this whole vote that needs to happen for the system. Because they know we mean fucking business. We mean business. If 2.5 years of getting shitted on and tumbled and brought down in our value, looking at our portfolios, drop, whatever, if you're in the AMC, 95% of the time, or of the people in the AMC movement at this moment are in the red. That's the stats for you, not me speaking out of my ass or my head. That's stats. At this current evaluation, unless you walked in 2 days ago. That's why I said 95%. They know if for 2.5 years that didn't do shit to us and we saw our accounts go from freaking hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in some cases, tens of thousands of dollars to 80% loss, unrealized loss, because you didn't sell, you didn't tumble, and we still didn't go nowhere. Now, you gonna let this topic of vote yes, no, or whatever the freaking outcome of it to change? Let me give you guys worst case scenario here. Yes goes through. Let's say yes goes through. And this is from me, from AB, to all my no people. Because again, I do not prefer the yes. You all know that. I would love the no. Because I already know that the pros of it outweighs the cons. However, this goes out to my no's. The yes goes through. And you got to remember, even if what you're afraid of is what I mentioned earlier, all those apes that became AMC shares, now these companies will start dumping them. Now you lost also, as many people say, you lost many of your shares because of the 10-to-1 reverse stock split. All that stuff, still, when these people start dumping and selling, this is the worst case scenario on the other side. If the yes goes through, they start dumping shares and selling them to bring the price down from the higher evaluation before AMC's 2 weeks are up, before they can actually sell and get some of their debt paid off and all that stuff. Guess what? Even if that's the worst case scenario, who are they dumping and selling to? Somebody's buying. Who's buying? It's either us or shorts that got a cover. When the closing starts happening, when the covering of positions start happening, that creates based on that, what happens? Naturally, there's buying pressure happening. And from that buying pressure, the price is going up. So either way, that's why many times AB have told you endless amount of times that yes or no, this thing is going to run. The no makes it the unbelievable numbers reach ridiculous prices, and that's something that they can't even pay for on Earth, logically. Even if they were to collect all the wealth on on Mother Earth, all of it, all the freaking wealth, cannot pay for all the meme stocks and all the other heavily manipulated shorted stocks, especially with that crazy, that with the nose. But with the yes, at least there is a way that they can get out alive. The economy, that is, not just the shorts. Put the shorts on the side. They're tiny, tiny, tiny ants in this whole thing. I'm talking about the consequences of their actions are so much bigger. And unfortunately, we've seen this back in 2008 and years before that as well. In 2008, they brought down the whole entire economy. What did the government do? Bail them the fuck out. Because this is what it's going to take for this thing to move forward. The government will step in when it comes to that moment. That's right, Billy. Not Billy. Billy. So how can somebody, or what entity is going to pay for all this madness, especially with what's on it? And especially with people like us, 4 million plus of us that we know of, at least, that mean business. We mean business. And whoever does not know that, let 2.5 years speak for us. That shit is on our resume. If 2.5 years of hardship did not mean anything, then I don't even think they can't understand or read the room correctly. Even my little brother, if I told him all this, can read the room correctly when it comes to that. For 2.5 years and people don't even care about what's in their account, how much in the red they've gone, because they got this belief. It became like a religion, and that's dangerous. The last thing you can take a man off of, or a woman, is a religion that they wholeheartedly believe in. That's their foundation. This movement, this AMC thing have become our foundation, like almost like a foundation. It almost became like a religion. In some people's minds, it is one. Even if they don't know it, it is like that. And that's the crazy part. One thing I want everybody to, again, to look forward, look past the vote, guys. Please look past it. The true test is coming after the vote, not before. This is just what they throw at you now. The true nature of how our true grit is going to be tested after, because they're going to dump on us the same narrative of the opposition. Thank you, Turtle. Oh, look, we got a new family member. So the true nature of how the manipulation is truly, or where they test our grit, is going to come after the vote. Now they let us argue amongst each other with the yes and the no. But whatever goes through, on whoever gets through on the other side, that's how the way they picture it. And I would love for us to prove them wrong, guys. We've always proved them wrong for these past 2.5 years. We can prove them yet again on their last chess move. We can prove them wrong again, because this is the last of their shenanigans. Dilutions and fake down pressure, selling pressure. We're used to that. There's nothing new. Tokenized bullshit is out of the picture. Bad articles, negative articles about us. That shit didn't work. That ship sailed 2.5 years ago. We're used to that. We're immune to that way of fucking crazy shit. Or all that negativity. We have a foundation, and our foundation can't be shook. The only play they have left is after the split, and you will see it. Mark my words. Fact check me afterwards, as I always say. They are gonna come at you hard after the split. Whatever goes through, they're gonna come at you to try to play the favorite side. So if yes goes through, they're gonna let the stock, like the drop of the price is gonna happen regardless. And each side, it's easy for them to blame the other after the split. Whoever thinks that the reverse stock split after the split is gonna cause the MOAS instantly, not financial advice, guys, but you will let time see, like, you will let, personally, I'll tell you, heck the fuck no, it's not gonna happen. That whatever the outcome, whether no or yes, instantly right after the reverse stock split, just so that everybody understands me clearly, you're not gonna have a MOAS instantly because of the cause of the reverse, whether it was a yes or a no. You'll see, because there will have to be a period of time where they come at us hard. Their last way or attempt to try to drag us through the mud and try to persuade us to let go of our shares and our positions. And it's going to come like this. If yes goes through, then obviously if the price goes down, then you got suddenly all the no crowd are going to become natural shills, and they're going to come, we told you so, we told you so. And it's going to become so hard for some people with lower conviction to even hold, because they're going to actually start buying into it. Same thing goes for the no. If the no's passes through, then the price goes down. The yes is going to jump, the yes crowd. We told you, you people did not want to vote. You people voted no for liquidity and for obviously dilution back in 2021, because we wouldn't be here if we approved it back then. And now we're here, and now you guys said no again, and now we're screwed again. Screw you guys. We're out. Because you guys have screwed up this thing, and they're gonna blame us, and they're gonna enjoy it. They're gonna pull the strings from behind. They're gonna step back and let the community itself, that the best way is divide and conquer. And they're gonna watch us divide, and they're gonna, from behind, conquer. That's literally what they're gonna do. So if you think the division Is that now or what we've been going through? Wait till you see after the reverse stock split what they're going to pull. They're going to stand in the back and they're going to be pulling strings, family. I swear, they're going to be pulling strings to aid one narrative over the other to try to oppress the other side. If we show them no division amongst our members, our family, then that narrative is dead in the ground. And it's their last move. They can't pull nothing else. Nothing. Except to divide us away from each other. And I told you, mark my words. Before the split, if you think this is splitting and this is crazy, wait till after the split and watch the true attacks and the true division. That's the big boy move that they're going to try to come at us with. After. Not before. This is nothing. This is child's play. After. Watch what they'll do. They will suppress one end and push the narrative of the other so that they can make sure that, hey, guess what? That crowd, you were correct. Look at what the yes did. And now it's going to be us fighting amongst each other, truly fight amongst each other, and people truly leaving the play because they really think that the effects of what's coming from this reverse stock split or the vote is going to be instant. One thing I want to tell everybody, whether you're a yes or a no, please, please, please remember, just like we are Americans in this country, and by the way, this goes for all my family and my followers, even if you're not an American. At the end of the day, no matter what region you're in, when it's time to vote, unless you're in a place you can't vote, and when it's time to vote for a leader to lead your nation, no matter what, nobody gets a unanimous vote unless you're in a dictatorship or a communist movement. But nobody gets 100% all of the votes. Some will be here and some will be here. But at the end of the day, no matter who goes through, you're going to still be one nation and one family. So please put the same logic on this thing. At the end of the day, whatever pass or whatever goes through, you have to remember that we're still going to be one movement. And the movement is not complete without all of us being in it. So if everybody who says yes sells, everybody with the no is screwed. If everybody in the no says I'm selling, I'm done, everybody in the yes is screwed. Our strength is our hold and our numbers. And when the numbers go away and the holding stops, where's our strength? It's done. Divide and conquer. Excuse me, I gotta drink some water. Guys, one thing about AB, and the family knows this. If you're new and you just walked in, you gotta remember this. AB does not just, like, almost every time is literally coming from the bottom of my heart. I lose my voice. You could hear it in my tonsils are hurting now because I'm very compassionate about anything that I mean business in. I don't do anything just to do. Whenever I do something, I put my all into it. And when I'm doing this and I'm talking to the family, I'm talking to everybody, we're all getting across. I'm not the smartest person in the world. God knows I'm not even in the conversation. For sure not in the conversation. Even in this play, not even in a conversation. But I speak from the bottom of my freaking heart, guys. And one thing I will say also is I seen a comment here just a little bit ago. From Mark Cousin. HD, how are you? If yes passes, I'm getting puts and laughing all the way down. Here's the one thing, family. I want you guys to pay attention to these kind of comments. I'll tell you this. The narrative or the motive of this is, first of all, shame on you, sir, or ma'am, or whatever you are, it. The one thing about it is, when you say that, even if it's smart to always leverage your position in general, it's stupid to say, if this goes through, it's a yes, then I'm laughing through. Again, your motive here, you're probably not even invested in the market, not even in the play, in the AMC. Your true nature here is obviously shilling and trying to get reaction out of people. You're not helping the movement. So if you're really in it and that's your way of talking, you're not helping. You're actually making it worse. So I'm just letting you know and making an example out of it to the rest of the family. that even if the yes to goes through, or even if the no goes through, it's always smart in general, this is not financial advice, to leverage your position with puts regardless. If the no goes through, there's no 100% conclusive evidence that the price or we will squeeze instantly right after. So it's always smart to get, whether if you're going to jump into the options game, to leverage your positions in stock, you leverage that position with calls and with puts. And there's so many different strategies. There's straddles. Some people, after I made that video last live, when I talked about what I did with Lucid and how I persuaded people, I got calls and puts. Guess what? Suddenly now there are videos coming out talking about protective puts. How can you protect and leverage your position? Can't you guys see it? A smaller channel like this one could easily get rated all the time so that it could be reaped for information, and it goes and gets put out on mainstream elsewhere, but in different style and different talk, to make it seem like it's not from such source. Do I care? At the end of the day, I want the best for the entire community. So as much as I want it for me, I want it for you. And if that works, then we're stronger, because you not being over leveraged, and when I say you, I'm talking about every single one of you is invested in this stock, in this movement. The stronger you means a better position for me. And I want everybody to think like this. Yeah, you can take this part of my talk as advice. A stronger, financially stronger you is a better standing for me, politically speaking, and family ship speaking as well, from all angles. Because if you're not leveraged, there's no fear for me that all my brothers and sisters or the family in this movement will sell. They're not over leveraged. There's no margin on them. A stronger financial them, a stronger standing family, means I'm going to be in good place. But if it's a weak standing and very, very, very down family, then there is a lot of cracks. And that makes space for some fear that, hey, these people could fold. People could flip because they can't handle anymore. So I want you to succeed more than you probably want to succeed yourself. Because a stronger you means a better, stronger me, better cards for me, a better environment for me. And if everybody thinks this way, promise you, family, I promise you, none of this stuff would even get through. And as I said, if you think the corruption and the craziness of the division of the community is right now, wait till after the split and watch how they will change and spin the narrative of why the price action of the stock is moving in whatever direction it's going to move into. And they're going to spin it so that one side comes back at the other harder than ever. And then the back, they're going to be standing and they're going to be pushing all these media things. Oh, all the yes crowd, you should have listened to the no. Like Motley Fool is going to eat the shit up. You should have listened to the no because look at the price action. The no crowd were correct. They're going to start backing one side of the community to try to basically defeat the other side. And eventually, when the whole community and movement crumbles, they are going to be laughing in the background. Like Mr. Puts laughing on the puts, they're going to be laughing in the background. If you're happy to see people get screwed in this movement, you're not an ape. I don't give a shit what side you're on. The no side or the yes side. Which unfortunately there are sides that we even refer to them as sides. Should be one freaking side. But if you're okay to see any person in this movement hurt, then you're not a fucking ape. F you and all the people who follow your same narrative and the same way of thinking. You're a shit of a human being that obviously at that point does not even deserve the wealth or the riches or the nice things in this life. Because you wish harm for others. You wish to see others burn. Do you know how many other people are connected to each person who's investing? Do you ever think about their families? Even if they're wrong. Even if you think if they're the yes or the no. Even if they're wrong. Do you know how many more people from that side of the family, from that person, are going to suffer because of those decisions? So you can't wish anything harm on anybody else that is supposedly in the same side of you. We're in the same fucking army. We're standing in the same row. And I'm not speaking like with all this emotions in the air and the atmosphere because I'm speaking like I'm angry about, I'm not angry about the stock. I'm angry about the state of the movement and the community. I'm angry that a vote, all it takes is this vote to start getting people split. And a month and a half later, we're still talking about this shit. Wait till after the vote and watch what they're going to bring at you. No one is preparing you for that. Everybody is still stuck about the yes and the no. And it makes good for the fundamentals and it does not make good for the fundamentals. Move past that shit. Everybody's going to vote and what's coming is coming. Whether yes or no. One thing you got to prepare yourself spiritually and mentally. You know how we say you got to manifest an energy? If you want something so badly, if you want to become an engineer, you want to be an astronaut, you want to be the Jeff Bezos, whatever you want to be, you got to manifest that energy and that thinking process before having it. You don't have it, you don't get it and then start thinking like it. No, you got to think, act like it before having it. Sorry, I need some water, guys. Adrian, thank you, brother. T-Gun, does the threshold list mean anything? It does, but at the same time, it also doesn't. What it means is that there are some parties, some entities that are having trouble delivering shares. It's plain and simple. That means bullish. That means good. That means somebody could get margined. But here's the thing. We've seen this happen back in 2021. I don't put too much reading into this. And that's why the most dangerous person, people in this planet, whether women or men, is the people that puts a goal in the back of their head or engrave it in their head and don't look right or left and move only on those coordinates and move directly toward that goal. That's the most dangerous people on this planet. Whether for a good cause or for a bad cause, that's why they're the most dangerous. Because if it's for a bad cause, it's going to be very tough to stop them. And if it's for a good cause, then it's almost damn near impossible to also stop them. Because again, that's it. It becomes a foundation. That's it. I'm not going to stop until I get to this goal. If you go, remember this, if you go 100% forward, there's 100% impossible. It's impossible for you to fall backwards. You know what? I'll prove it to you. Physically, stand up. Unfortunately, make sure you do that in front of your bed. Okay? Don't do it in front of the ground or in the pavement on the street. Stand up and go 100% forward. Watch where you fall. Even if you don't fall where you want, you're going to be somewhere in that vicinity. But it's impossible for you to go 100% forward and end up falling backwards. Impossible. You might fall a little bit short to where you want to go, but there's no way you physically and mentally, in every way, it's impossible for you to fall backwards if you went 100% forward. And that's why, brothers and sisters, I tell you that eventually the most dangerous people on this planet or human beings are the ones that are moving 100% forward toward a particular cause. There's no way to deter them away from it because they're 100% in. Gorilla Grodd, what's up, brother? PV, yeah, I heard Canadians, I think Canadians will get their forms in the mail. Hopefully. Right? Doc Breezy, thank you, brother. That means a lot. I'm just one of the apes. Stronger us is a stronger me. I already know that. But a stronger one and a weaker everyone else movement means we're all weak. Don't let the outside look fool you. So, but I appreciate the compliment, brother. I appreciate it. I spoke to you before I had the privilege to speaking to you before on brother Stephen live stream before. You're a very sound and intelligent guy yourself, so I'm humbled to hear the compliment. Appreciate that. 1796, you know I'm not worried. AB don't worry. AB cares and overly cares about the family because it means a lot. A stronger you guys, everybody in this movement, the ones I know and the ones I don't know. If you're in this movement, I care overly about you because a stronger you means a stronger me indirectly. If you look at it from all angles, you will see what I'm talking about. All these guys, all these things, and see, this is my point right here, family. This is my point. We're getting stuck into the narrative of Adam Aaron, let them do this, Adam Aaron, let them do that. What have I been speaking for the past hour and the past lives? I've said, please, 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 family, stop staying in the same location and acting like sitting ducks. We understand what's happening. You know what? Everything each one of you is saying is true and correct. Let's just go with the cause, okay? Let's just go with everybody. You know, the no people and the yes people. I'm trying to find a common ground for everybody to understand that we are the same people, all of us. Forget this yes and no stuff. Don't make it make a difference. Use it to make a similarity. Use that instead of making it make a difference between us and division. Use it as a unifying factor. And there is a way. There is a way. You'll see it right there. I've been telling you guys. I'm losing my voice telling you, please do not get stuck in this talk. Adam Aaron let them and Adam Aaron didn't let them. Okay, what if that is correct and what if that is correct? I know that's impossible physically, but what if this one, to entertain each outcome or to entertain each opinion? What if this is correct and what if this is correct? What does complaining about it at this point do for us? We take it to courts. I've explained a billion times before. We go to litigation, there goes your investment. Who's happy? Lawyers. They make a lot of money. So AB does not want no freaking litigation. After the play is over and we paid, then they can fix the entire market. I don't care. The entire market can go to a volcano. It can be shaken with an earthquake. It can disappear for all I care. But don't try to fix the market and take this play through litigation in the pursuit of fixing the financial world. No, use it after. That's my stance on it. So with that being said, what else does complaining do? Okay, it might make you feel better momentarily or instantly, but in the long run, what is it doing? Gorilla Grodd, thank you. And 1796, no courts, hell no. Gorilla Grodd, yes, Adam Aaron didn't make this investment for us. And by the way, nobody can make an investment 2.5 years ago and expect to see 2.5 years later that you're like, there's no way you can anticipate that there will 2.5 years later, 3 years later, we're going to get a vote that we're going to vote on. Whether the yes or the no side, there's no way to anticipate that at 2.5 years ago. So what does that mean? Always look at the options that you got on the table. We live in today. We don't live in yesterday, and we certainly don't know what to live in for tomorrow. So we don't know tomorrow, and we can't. It don't do no good to live in yesterday. So I'm gonna spit like all that BS out of the window. Right now, we live in today. These are our options. What are you gonna do? Complain? It's not gonna take us nowhere. It's not gonna take us nowhere. That just makes you live in yesterday. So forget that option. That's not an option. That's a way for you to live in yesterday, family. What are we going to do with the options that we have on the table now? From the position that we're in now. What's the best option for us? Yes, there's the side that says yes because it kills the short squeeze theory and sorry, not the short squeeze, but the shorters theory and no more shorts because we pay down debt. But again, you don't know how much debt are they going to pay? How are they going to use the money? We had money and they invested it in investments. They didn't pay much of the debt. They paid some, but not much. Understand. But if we're going to stick in yesterday, we can't enjoy today, and we're not going to be around for tomorrow. So put the past, leave it in the freaking past. Make the best decision that could possibly make our future the best. And with the options that we have in front of us, each one is the CEO of their own investment right now. You do your part. You want to vote no, go and vote the no. And you want to vote yes, go and vote the yes. Whatever the outcome is, we are still the same people. We're still one family. Stop listening to the people that want to antagonize and whatever. For one, you don't know if they're shills. You don't know if they're paid for either side. Whether it's the yes crowd saying go sell because if you don't trust the CEO, then why invest? Don't listen to that crap. Nobody could tell anybody, like, screw that. CEOs can be paid at any given time. Not saying that Adam Aron is, because we don't have facts on it. I could think that as much as I want, but there's no paper receipts on that. So therefore, yes, it's possible. Many CEOs can be paid just so they can screw up their company because at the end of the day, the company doesn't belong to them. So yes, it's possible. You can't just go blindly and invest and say, oh yeah, I believe in you like Jesus, Adam Aron. That's again, this is the investment world. Just like they say, there's no clean politicians in the Capitol. There's no such thing as a clean politician. Same thing in the investment world. When it's about money, you'll be surprised with what people would do for that. What they would sell. Morals, values, everything. For you want to stay away from all this madness. It's a waste of time. It's oh my God. It's a maze that you will never walk out of. So let's move forward. Think today, live for today, and make the decisions of today, hopefully, make us in a better position for tomorrow. Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And we can't live in yesterday because yesterday is past. That's it. It's gone. We can't go back. Nick Weber, how are you, sir? So the true division you will see, they will pounce on us negatively after the split. I'm preparing you for that. I would love for all other content creators, all my fellow brothers and sisters, the ones that cover AMC and other meme stocks even, whether GME, BlackBerry, any movement, Sundial, whatever you are, please prepare the community and your family, your community for this. The true attacks are going to come after the split. Not now. Now is just to give you something to play with, to occupy your brain with. After the split, that's when you will see the true division of the community. Because at the end of the day, our core value, our foundation is our numbers and our hold. We hold and we are big in numbers. If they don't shake those foundation, they have no chance. Put everything on the side. AMC's fundamentals, whatever. Put all that shit on the side. Even the fundamental world in the stock market can easily be unfundamental. And I know all of you know all about this. But I can even give you more from where that came from. Even if the company is doing terrible, but everybody says, you know what? We don't care how terrible this company is doing. We want to buy all the shares. We want to buy all the float. Guess what that does? It goes into the factor of the market cap of the company. This explains a big reason of why you see the market maker not purchasing over $65 billion in assets. They're not all AMC. But those shares, all those assets, whatever from them is AMC, if all that was to go, if all these synthetics, people ask like, hey, what's synthetics? Just because they don't want the What, they just want to bring the price down? That's not the main only reason for it. The main other reason is because if all these shares are sold and in fact purchased and the entire float is bought up and more people want to buy in, the price goes up. The market cap of the company goes up. There's so many factors into this. 400 million shares or one float, no matter what, is not the solution to everything. That will not end everything. In my humble opinion, I want to tell all my family that represent the no side of this, the yes does not screw over the entire play. It does not end the play. I don't want to say screw over as in like it doesn't change any of the outcomes. Yes, it does limit certain things. But that's why, because the system that is behind all of this is much beyond and bigger than than the AMC board or the CEO or the Gary Gensler from the SEC or anybody. There are much bigger forces that will have to come to the table to pay for this madness, that have a big control on this. Gorilla Grodd. All right, guys. Now I'm ready for questions. After all that. Hit me. I'm ready. Hit me. Hit me with your questions. Anything. AMC, general, entire market, whatever. I would love it if I could get any questions from about anything else besides even just AMC. Not that it's not important, but what is there else to cover? If there is anything else, hit me with the question. Get me. I'm not proclaiming or prophesizing that I know everything. Hell no. I'm far from it. Many more in this stream itself right here. We don't even have to go far. Many people in this stream itself are much brighter and know a lot more than I do. I'm just privileged to be listened to by everyone else. Believe it or not, it's a privilege. I see it as one. Robert Swift, squeezed before the split. Not financial advice, but there's no such thing as necessarily just for sure. You could get a run up. We could have something that that might explain the price action. Like we could have a run up. I've aired this out last week in a live after Bitcoin broke the major 24,500 dollars, 24K and 500. That was a major resistance that Bitcoin needed to break, and last time it broke it, we were followed by a few weeks after that. We were followed by a major rip in the meme stocks. So that to me was a signal. So I aired that out last week. So will we have that? Sure. Will it be the MOAS? That's to be seen. But a run up, I see one. Like I see one. I fully believe that I see one if we will follow this previous patterns of the past. So hopefully that answers the question. But by knowing that, you got to set your position, set your pieces, guys. And this is the entire family. Not just to the gentleman that asked the question, which I humbly thank for asking that question. It's a good question. Believe it or not, even though it's simple and you guys think it's just, will we squeeze before or after? But there is good that comes out of that question that's much bigger. And I'm telling you now, if you think that something might happen before, what can you do? How can you shuffle your pieces to make sure you take care of yourself before such thing? What if there was just a run up, not the MOAS that we're, anticipating to be the case? As a community, if we stick strong together, obviously nothing is going to stop that from happening. But if not, what can you do to shuffle your pieces? If each single one of you is the president and the chief officer of your own investments and your own situations. So hopefully that answers the question, Robert. Andrew, are you really calling it old balls and brews? LOL. PV, what's up, brother? Gorilla Grodd, have you been paying attention to the housing market, brother? Might be that about time it burst this bubble. Oh yeah, Gorilla. If you go back in some of the past videos that I've had, or some of the past lives, I know I'm asking too much, but if you find it in you, if you can go back and see, you'll see that's one of the main things I keep telling people. Especially when in the beginning of this year, there was, like last month, there was many people that came out, content creators, family members in the community, claiming or self-claiming that, hey, guess what, guys? We're in the bull market. And I was telling people, look at the housing market. If you think this is a bull's market, you have nothing in common knowledge of knowing what's really about to go down. So let that be the case, because we're still, technically, the market is reacting to Q4. We're not in 2023 yet. Physically, we are. Financially and earnings reports, we're still reacting to 2022. So once we get in this market, like Q2 of this year, Q3, that's when the real fun happens, because the housing market, Gorilla Grodd, and everybody in the community is also tied up to what? Like, there are two factors that play big roles in recessions. Housing problem, like bursting of the bubble. 2 is employment. Once these two things hit, and they're happening, look how many. Amazon laid off massive amounts of people. All the major corporations are laying off people. And in the same time, small businesses can't even handle the inflation. So, people have mortgages. Look how they're connected. I could just give you guys a simple link. And I know all of you know, but for the ones that don't, simply look at this attachment. Somebody works, they lose their job, they have a house mortgage, they can't pay it. What can they do? Even if they have a fixed interest rate, how they can pay for their mortgage? Do banks wait? Do they say, you know what? You're a good guy. You made your last 12 payments. You know what? Or 15, 20 payments. You know what? You've been all right. My uncle knows you. Uncle George knows you. That's not how it works. These bloodsuckers are going to come and take this shit. And that's when you have a full market collapse. We're far away from a bull's market. In fact, the CPI data proved it. But the crazier part, that's with the change of how they calculate the CPI data. I mean, it's getting so pathetic to the point where whatever they want to happen that day, or trading-wise on the market, they will push the narrative, even if the news is the worst. Even if it's the worst news out there, they'll push whatever narrative they want to push. They will get that across. We had terrible CPI that same day with the narrative CPI. We had a bullish. We ended up in the green. It makes zero sense. They can make the price, they can explain the price due to the media or the news that they push out. Even if the results are not what the price resembles, is what they give you to justify the price. Good question, by the way, Gorilla Grodd. Again, I want to do this live. Congrats to you and your beloved. She deserves everything amazing that is happening with her. And if you're listening to this, this goes out as a special shout out to you. You put in a lot of hard work. You deserve every bit of blessings that are coming towards you. So therefore, I'm very happy for the next step for you two in your lives with this success. So continue. This is not the end. This is not where it comes to an end. This is not where the buck stops even. This is just the beginning of many more to come successes, and hopefully you will both reach the ultimate tip top of the pyramid of whatever your interest is, or whatever it is that you want to succeed in. Let me put this on the charger. Hopefully, because my phone is dying, hopefully it does not end the stream. And it didn't. Wow. Jeffrey, what's up, brother? Roca. AB, the only reason I'm brighter is because I shine like it. Shine like it. Speaking of shine like bright like a diamond, she had a really great halftime show in the Super Bowl. Yeah, Adrian, like, stop listening to Rihanna, bro. Robert Swift, need the SPY to go up. It follows it. Yes, it does, but you got to remember, we're in the Russell 3000 now. But in the same time, for now, they have us following as far as the SPY, or as far as AMC. They have us following this, but we're technically should not even be in the same room with the SPY and the entire rest of the market. Because what's done to the SPY is not the same thing that is exactly done to us. If everything was fundamental, then you can see that we should be tracking the SPY correctly. Or like if the SPY is on a bullish move trend, then we should be on a bullish trend because the markets are reacting to it, buying, and stronger markets. But the problem is we're not technically a fundamental play. We're not. If we're a fundamental play, we should not have any synthetics. We should not have any naked shorts. We should not have massive, crazy naked options in the background to suppress prices. We should not have, obviously, billions and billions of dollars of assets that are delivered and not purchased. So that also will explain why when AMC moves up, you see the rest of the entire meme stocks, most of them, if not all of them, are also moving up. It's not that we're just on the same algorithm. It's because the entity that we're against is destroying all those. We are in the sight of them. It's not the same algorithm that we're in. No. It's because whoever is targeting us is targeting all these as well with us. All these other meme stocks, all these other companies. So they deal with us all together. But yes, in the short term or in the face value, we do track the SPY if it goes up. And sometimes it's not even a deciding factor. There was many times where we were down and the SPY was up and vice versa. Gorilla, Broke Ape at Gorilla Grodd with a bubble burst effect REITs. Nice. Random person. PV, AB, let me know if you're flying to Germany anytime soon. Scheiße. No, as long as we're not in Munich. I hate Bayern. They defeat my Barcelona badly throughout history. They cause me a heartburn. But yeah, no, one day for sure. I love Germany as a country. In fact, I have one of my siblings. My sister actually speaks German. She studied, and one of my cousins actually studied in Germany, her college. So she finished her engineering degree in Germany and then ended up going back to Jordan after. So I definitely hit up Germany here one day, hopefully. But I'll definitely hit you up, brother. I know you almost just about personally now and for a long time, so I trust you. San Diego Laundromats, what kind of restaurant? It's a Greek restaurant. Turtle Creek. How are you, by the way? Okay, different question. How many shares does any show available? Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't get the question, Turtle. Glad you're finally home, Mr. Loco. $17.96 Patriot. There are many others that need hot other than you, AB. I don't know. I guess I'm misunderstanding that statement too. I'm pretty sure you mean well, 1796. You've always been great, so I just can't understand the meaning. that need hot other than you. Hey, there's our Tampa Bay Buckeye. Wu-Tang gang, huh? By the way, guys, our Tampa Bay Buckeye actually did go to Ohio State. For any Ohio State fans, show some love. He actually did go to Ohio State and on a football scholarship. So we got a football Buckeye in here. Even though I'm an Alabama Crimson Tide, but I got much love for my state teams, whether the Bearcats you see or whether the Ohio State. But I don't know not so much about those Michigan people. Let's see. Any... Hold on. I gotta lower my screen. I gotta lower my screen so like brightness, like Adrian says here, so that I don't lose. What happened? Did I go away? That's good. That means it doesn't. I don't lose. You don't lose everything. Hold on. I'm with you. I'm not going nowhere, guys. Don't go nowhere. I'm just trying to change the or put the brightness of the screen down real quick. 1 second. So even if I get off the screen, I'm not gone yet. Okay, I'm back. I think I put the screen resolution down, but I'm using my car charger. My car charger is not even charging it correctly, like or fast. Oh well. What is this? Broke Ape at AB. How would housing bubble affect REITs? Well, in many ways, it depends. It depends. It depends on it. Like, so for example, I'll give you a good one. Like here's the thing. It depends on what each company is definitely invested in. So for example, if they're invested in commercial businesses, but the business, what is the business model? You got to look through that. And each of those REITs, when they're invested in these businesses, like depending on, again, the model of it, if it's one of those models where it depends on retail or rental property or mortgage backed security or anything, then that shit is going to go down the drain. That's how a market bubble or housing bubble will affect it. Now, if its model is very strong, similar to like the stock that I was telling everybody about my favorite stock, not telling people to go invest in, just my favorite long stock. It's the stock that I invest in. I keep piling in for my future to when I really old and using a cane to walk. Is CII. So like with their platform, like with their model, they got over 5,000 to 6,000 commercial properties. But what are they? Are hosting or holding wireless towers, basically. So basically every Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever service gotta go through these people, because these people lease these towers for. So do you see a world with no cell phones? I can't. So if you can't, that means these people's like money in the company is like beyond imagination proof. It's storm proof. In fact, in 2008, they were one of the only few stocks to actually go up in value instead of getting screwed from the whole economy collapse globally. It's amazing how, like, when you look at the dynamic and the foundation of every company, you'll see they could be in the market or in the category that gets hit the most, but if their foundation is strong, then obviously they got nothing to worry about. I don't see a world where there's no Wi-Fi being used. I don't see a world that we live in, especially in the future, where there's no cell phones being used. And these guys are leasing. They own these towers and these commercial properties. They lease these things. And I've had many encounters and overlooked contracts with commercial businesses on a big scale. So like, I've been a part of some of these discussions to see how that gets across. When a Verizon, for example, store or a T-Mobile store comes to rent, for example, and this is on a smaller scale, they come to rent a store or Chipotle or whatever restaurant you see, those corporate like companies, chains, they don't come and get a lease on the space for like 2 years or 4 years or even 5 years. Most of the times they get 10 plus. That's the least. 10 plus. So that company is basically getting 100% sure money. And most of them pay that lease in advance as well. Look how beautiful that is. That's easy money for them. So hopefully that answers the question, brother. Oh, thank you, Miss Grod. You deserve more. But yeah, exactly. Hopefully I was able to say exactly everything off my heart. But you deserve more, like I said. You two are precious people, amazing people. Head fake to 418. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. If you see that Tampa Bay Buckeye, that's huge. I think to be totally honest, I think that we're gonna see a lot more of of the SPY going back to where it really needs to go, in my humble opinion, which is underneath even 350 in the in this long run, not in one day. In the long run, I feel like it's the test of this resistance that it has is at 422, and the fact that it went up and it tested 418, but it couldn't even break past that. I think that's it. Like I think we tested it twice in the recent history. That's more of a confirmation to show that, hey, you had your bull run, which is natural. If we look back in the past year, you see every dump eventually ends. You can't just keep going down. So you will have a rip. But when you see that we met the previous resistance prior to the previous bear move or bearish trend, then we do not break the previous resistance or the top of the previous resistance. So for example, we went up to 422. Previous was like the previous support that got turned into resistance, in my humble opinion. So when we came back to make our move again, we were not able to surpass that 422, at least for the time being, which reconfirms to me that we're definitely not in no bull market. This is my humble opinion. Buckeye Ace, is your proxy correct? Mine was. Hey, I peed in Kenny's pool, aka I'm just not gonna say your name, bro. But I just wanted to say I love you, bro. I love you more, brother. And thank you for being a real OG 8, brother. Thank you, brother. So are you. I'm nothing without the family, as I always say. Soon enough, we will have our money, and y'all will get my delicious food on the his. Yes, you guys don't have no clue. I actually see. I feed in Kenny's pool. He's a master chef. Like, I've seen the food he makes. He's destroying me every day. But the problem is he's so freaking far away. Down in the dirty south. So right on the border. So I can't access it from here all the way from Ohio. But one day I will definitely get my fill, brother. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you, sir. All right, let's see. Any questions before I log out? I just wanted to come in and say these things, guys. It broke, Abe. Thanks, AB. I got a shit. I can't believe I read that. I fell for that. You got me, broke, Abe. Thank you, Riet, for long term. Again, remember, it's oh, what happened? Oh, look, my phone is like pulling that I'm about to die on you. Remember, like my favorite one again was CEI. Man, go. You know what? I want to tell the family, go look at the stock. Look at that company. See how you read companies' financials and see how you read companies' foundation. Please come back to me. Let me know. Alert the brother if he's going down the wrong hole, or aid the brother by actually take it from me if it does bring something on your radar that you didn't see. That means everything to me. That's a blessing. We all make ourselves stronger. IPKP. Well, thank you, 1796. Appreciate you. Mr. Andrew, thank you, sir. Well, props to the family. You guys are the best the world has to offer, and I rally around the best. Yes, thank you for joining us. As my beloved Jam Bam said, Christopher Santos, I'm seeing your name here. Shirley's typing it. I didn't see it in the chat earlier as I was going on and on. So if you are here, how are you, sir? Hopefully you're having a great evening. Bob Loco, take care, brother. Thanks for putting all those links in the Discord for the family. Thank you, Shirley, and thank you, Adrian, brother Adrian. Everybody else who's in that Discord, you know where to go to get your groove on and get your singing on. You better go get it on. Jeffrey, why are you still here? In fact, Adrian and Shirley, why are you guys still here? Mr. McCohen, hey, I appreciate you even more, brother. Much love to you as well. All the way here from Ohio. More respect from me, IP than Kenny's Pool. All right, family. So I'm going to go ahead and basically call it for the night. It's a Sunday. Yeah, the markets are not open tomorrow, but I want people to marinate on everything we talked about tonight for tomorrow. Get the anxiety out. Hopefully we can get this message across to the rest of the community and most people. Miss Gloria, I'm glad I caught it. Thank you so much. Rachel, good night to you as well. So yes, so like hopefully we could get this across, this narrative of or way of thinking to the rest of the community out there, because that's the only strength that we got. If we lose that, we already halfway lost the battle. Remember, 1 foot out is 2 feet out. So we don't want any of that. We're not out. We're none of the other sides. I'm not being out. Yes or no, I don't give two shits. I'm in this for the long run, no matter what. Of course, I make my voice heard. And of course, I make my vote, because that's what people who cared, that's what they do. But at the end of the day, we're all one. That's the way I see you, and I hope that's the way you see me. And I hope that how everybody else sees this movement. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your off day tomorrow if you're one of the people that are off. I heard that some people are off and some people are not. Unfortunately, my restaurant is not closed, and that's a good thing, because the ones that are off, that means we're going to have a busy day tomorrow, hopefully. If you're in the Cincinnati area, come out to the Greek Burrito and enjoy the best and most delicious Greek food. And this is not a commercial. It's just the truth. Javi the Great, I caught you before I left. Hopefully you're having a great evening as well, sir. And like I said, I'll be back with you guys. Hopefully, I don't know, tomorrow if we do a small thing. I doubt it, but I don't want to make it a heavy weekend. I think everything that needs to be talked about is talked about. I've said it in this. If there's any other questions anybody else have, please either put them in the comment section on this thing after it posts, or put your thoughts as well. Shills and non-shills and family members. You all are welcome to put what you would like. So at the end of the day, much love. I'm giving it a little more time so that people can type. I see people are typing some questions to each other and stuff. So I don't want to cut the stream while they're doing that. I don't want to be the rude guy. So I'm giving you guys your time to do your thing. But besides all that, stay hydrated, my brothers and sisters. Russell Corey, happy Sunday, sir. To you and your loved ones as well. All right, it seems like everybody got the information that they need across. So, once again, family, much love, AB Investments.